Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to learn about the admin option. And the admin option is an option with a grants where we grant a privilege to a user and also a privilege to assign that privilege further on. In our example, with our badger user, which already exists, with the following syntax, we're going to allow him to create any table and also allow him to pass on that privilege further on to other users, right? So our badger user could create any table grant to any other user that is available on the database. So just to repeat, the syntax is the same as without the option. It is grant, name of the privilege, to which user, and additionally with the admin option. So let's execute this one, right? And for the testing purposes, for my sys user, I'm going to create another user called Wombat, and I'm going to grant him so he can connect to the database. So first, let's connect with our badger user and Wombat user on the database. So first with the badger, and second with the Wombat. Now, at the moment, my Wombat user does not have a privilege to create a table. We can try out that. Just like sample A. Again, with just one column. And as we can see, we do not have a privilege to create a table. Now, with my badger user, which has the admin option, so he can create any table to other users, we're going to grant a privilege to Wombat user to create any table. So the syntax is, as we already learned in previous lessons, it is grant, create any table, and notice that this time the create table and create any table privilege differ. I could not grant create table to some other users as I do not have the admin option to add it, but I can use the create any table as we granted it from the sys user, and followed by to Wombat, right? We could also add over here with the admin option, so to pass on to the Wombat user privilege to assign the create any table privilege again to other users. However, we are not going to do that, but just the create any table privilege. And now grant is successful, and let's try to create a table with our Wombat user. So the same statement, and this time the table is created. If we want to revoke a privilege that has the admin option, we do not have to specify that. So the syntax would be as with a regular revoke statement. It will be revoke, create any table from badger, right? So this time we omitted the admin option. An important thing to mention is that this command does not cascade, as in our Wombat user is still gonna be able to create new tables as the privilege was not revoked from him, but only from our badger user. So if I try to create another table with our Wombat user, this will work just fine. Very quick and very simple, but have in mind those rules as this could be a trick question on the exam. This is it for this one, and see you in the next one.